have something very important to tell you. It's about what lies ahead, but also about what lies behind. Because here we always tell the most unbelievable true stories from all over the world. Stories that will make you question everything and that will chill you to the bone. So if you want to live through these stories, then click on the subscribe button right now and join our community. Welcome back to the channel. They were 4 friends who decided to spend a few days in a cabin in the woods, a getaway to get away from the stress of everyday life. But they never imagined that there they would find something that would put their lives at risk. As soon as they arrived, the atmosphere was heavy with tension, and it seemed like the trees themselves were watching their every move. However, curiosity pushed them forward. They had to explore the old cabin to see what secrets it held. It didn't take long for them to find a strange and abandoned mobile phone buried under some floorboards. The device looked ancient, but it was perfectly preserved and still had a battery. When they turned it on, they found out that it didn't have a SIM card and couldn't make any calls. It seemed like a cruel joke, a useless and mysterious device with a past unknown. Determined to solve the enigma, one of the boys, Leo, connected the phone to his laptop and discovered a hidden folder containing dozens of disturbing videos. All the clips had one thing in common: a countdown timer that started playing as soon as they were opened. The timer reached 0, and each video showed the face of a terrified young man along with a distorted and sinister laughter. But that wasn't the scariest part. What really horrified them was that they recognized those faces. They were their friends who had disappeared without a trace weeks ago. Overcome with terror, they tried to erase the videos, but they couldn't. The files were locked, and no matter how much they tried, they couldn't modify or delete them. Just then, another terrifying scene appeared on the screen, this time showing their friend Emma, who had gone missing a few days earlier. In the clip, she explained in a desperate voice that they had to stop whoever was behind this before more people disappeared. The image flickered and disappeared, leaving them with more questions than answers. Driven by fear and the need for answers, Leo decided to take drastic measures. He took the phone into the woods and tried to find the source of the signal, hoping to put an end to this nightmare once and for all. As he ventured deeper into the dense underbrush, the phone suddenly started ringing. He looked at the screen and saw an unknown number. His heart pounded in his chest as he hesitated. Should he answer the call? Curiosity and fear got the better of him, and he pressed the answer button. On the other side of the line, a strange voice said, "You shouldn't have done that." Leo tried to respond, but his voice sounded distant and distorted, as if the person on the other end was deliberately sabotaging the connection. The voice continued, "Now you've unleashed something you can't control. There's no turning back now." Suddenly, the trees around Leo began to shake violently. The sky darkened ominously, and the forest seemed to come alive with sinister energy. Terror-stricken, he dropped the phone and fled, stumbling and falling amidst the undergrowth. As he ran desperately trying to escape the unseen force that seemed to be pursuing him, he heard a blood-curdling laughter echoing through the trees. His breathing became more rapid, and his heart pounded against his ribs like a drum. The laughter grew louder, closer, and he could feel its icy touch on his neck. Suddenly, the ground beneath his feet gave way, and he fell into a deep hole. With a scream caught in his throat, Leo found himself trapped in a dark and narrow tunnel. The air was thick with the stench of damp earth and something else, something indescribably foul. As he descended further into the darkness, he realized that the tunnel was artificial and that someone had dug it with great effort. The sound of his own heartbeat echoed in the silence, amplifying his terror. His fingers scraped against the rough walls, searching for a way out, but there was none. The only light came from the opening above, a small circle that seemed to mock his helplessness. In the distance, he heard voices whispering his name, beckoning him towards the darkness. Their tone was sweet, yet their words carried a sinister undertone that sent chills down his spine. As he moved forward, the whispers grew louder, forming coherent sentences that chilled him to the core. They told him stories of unimaginable horrors, of souls trapped in eternal torment, of sacrifices made to appease the darkness. Each step he took brought him closer to the heart of the earth, closer to the presence that oozed malevolence. The tunnel finally opened into a vast cavern illuminated by an eerie green glow. In the center stood a massive stone altar, and on it lay the phone that had led Leo into this subterranean labyrinth. As he watched in disbelief, the videos played on the phone's screen, not of his missing friends, but of countless others who had vanished like him, their faces contorted in terror. But the most terrifying sight awaited him in the shadows at the edge of the cavern. There, chained to the wall, were his friends, their bodies emaciated and their eyes hollow. Behind them stood a tall, gaunt figure cloaked in darkness, its face hidden by a grotesque mask. The creature turned, revealing eyes that burned with an otherworldly fire. It raised a hand and a wave of icy cold washed over Leo. With a Herculean effort, he broke free of the chains and stumbled back, desperate to escape the clutches of the creature. But it was too late. The being lunged, its claws extended, and dragged Leo into the darkness. Its laughter echoed through the cavern, a symphony of madness that drowned out his screams. The creature revealed itself as a terrifying hybrid of man and beast, its body twisted and emaciated, covered in scars and adorned with bones and teeth of its victims. It hissed, its voice dripping with malice. "You shouldn't have come here, Leo. Now you'll join the others in my eternal collection." In a panic, Leo searched for an escape, but there was none. The creature advanced, its eyes gleaming with predatory hunger. It lunged again, sinking its claws into Leo's shoulder. He cried out in pain and fear as the creature lifted him off the ground. With a sickening crack, it broke his arm and tossed him aside like a rag doll. Leo lay on the ground, his body racked with pain and terror. The creature approached him, its hot breath on his face, and whispered, "This is where your story ends, Leo. And yours," it added, gesturing to the chained figures, "will be no different." Its laughter echoed through the cavern as it prepared to deliver the final blow. But just as its shadow fell over Leo, a gunshot shattered the silence. The creature let out a deafening roar and collapsed, its body riddled with bullets. Emma stood over the creature, a gun in her hand. Her face was grim, her eyes blazing with determination. "It's over," she said, her voice hoarse. "It's finally over." As the creature's body crumbled to dust, the chained figures shimmered and solidified, regaining their human form. They stumbled out of their bonds, weak and confused, but alive. Later, as they stumbled out of the cavern, blinking in the sunlight, Leo turned to Emma, his voice filled with gratitude. "How did you find me? How did you save us?" Emma looked at him, her gaze distant. "I don't know," she whispered, her voice trembling. "I just had to. I had to save you, Leo." As the sun set, casting long shadows over the forest, they walked away from the crumbling cavern, forever bound by their harrowing ordeal. The woods were silent, but the memory of their terror echoed in their hearts. For Leo, the ordeal left an indelible mark. He could never shake the feeling that something evil lurked beneath the surface of the world, waiting to ensnare the unwary. The laughter of the creature haunted his nightmares, and the cavern became a place he dreaded even in daylight. He knew that their story was far from over. The creature might be gone, but the darkness it represented still lingered in the world. And somewhere out there, other creatures like it stirred, waiting for their turn to unleash hell.